Farah Diba was a young architecture student when she met Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. He was the king of Iran, a powerful figure on the world stage. Their encounter was a twist of fate, a chance meeting that blossomed into love. They married in 1959. Farah became queen, a symbol of hope and modernity for a nation on the cusp of transformation. The Shah was captivated by Farah's intelligence and grace. He saw in her a partner, someone to share his vision for a modern Iran. Farah, in turn, was drawn to the Shah's charisma and his dedication to his country. Their wedding was a grand affair, a spectacle that captured the world's attention. It was a moment of unity and celebration for Iran. The Shah, a modernizer at heart, was determined to propel Iran onto the global stage. He embarked on a series of ambitious reforms aiming to strengthen the economy and improve the lives of his people. Farah, with her keen interest in art, culture and social welfare, became a vital partner in this endeavor. She championed education, healthcare and women's rights. She used her platform to advocate for progress and equality. The royal couple quickly became symbols of a new Iran, a nation embracing progress while cherishing its rich heritage. They were the faces of a nation brimming with optimism, a nation eager to carve its place in the world. Their love story, played out on the world stage, became intertwined with the story of Iran itself. The Shah's reign, known as the Pahlavi era, was a time of profound change for Iran. He spearheaded a modernization program that touched every aspect of Iranian society. His goal was clear: to transform Iran into a global power. He invested heavily in infrastructure, building roads, airports, and universities. He sought to diversify the economy, reducing Iran's dependence on oil. One of the most significant reforms of the Pahlavi era was the expansion of women's rights. The Shah believed that a modern society required the full participation of women. He granted women the right to vote, a landmark achievement in a region where women were often relegated to the sidelines. He encouraged their education and their entry into the workforce. Farah, a staunch advocate for women's rights, played a crucial role in this social transformation. She used her influence to promote education for girls. She established schools and universities. She encouraged women to pursue careers in fields traditionally dominated by men. Her efforts empowered a generation of Iranian women, giving them the tools to shape their own destinies. The modernization efforts, while ambitious and transformative, were not without their critics. Some felt the pace of change was too rapid, disrupting traditional values. Others felt the benefits of modernization were not reaching all segments of society. Despite these challenges, the Pahlavi era saw Iran make remarkable strides in education, healthcare, and women's rights. As Iran surged forward, a storm was brewing. The Shah's reforms, while embraced by many, also alienated some segments of society. Religious conservatives viewed the modernization drive as a threat to their values. The rapid pace of change fueled social unrest. The gap between the rich and the poor widened, creating resentment. The Shah's authoritarian style of rule, while effective in pushing forward his agenda, also stifled dissent. In 1979, the storm broke. A revolution fueled by a complex mix of religious fervor, economic discontent, and political oppression swept across Iran. The Shah's regime, once considered unshakable, crumbled under the weight of popular anger. The revolution marked a dramatic turning point in Iran's history, ending the Pahlavi dynasty and ushering in an Islamic republic. For Farah and the Shah, the revolution was a personal tragedy. They were forced to flee their homeland, leaving behind the country they loved. They became exiles, their dreams of a modern, prosperous Iran shattered. The revolution wasn't just a political upheaval, it was a profound personal loss for the royal family. The Shah, already battling cancer, was heartbroken by the turn of events. He died in exile in Egypt in 1980, a year after the revolution. Farah, now a widow and a refugee, faced the daunting task of rebuilding her life in a foreign land. She carried the weight of her own grief, the grief of her family, and the grief of a nation. Exile was a bitter pill to swallow for Farah. She found herself adrift in a world that no longer recognized her as queen. She mourned the loss of her husband, her homeland, and her former life. Yet even in exile, her spirit remained unbroken. She refused to be defined by the revolution or by the loss of her crown. She embraced her new life with courage and determination. Farah settled in the United States, where she dedicated herself to preserving her husband's legacy and keeping the memory of their time in Iran alive. She became a vocal advocate for Iranian culture and history, speaking out against the regime that had overthrown her husband. She wrote her memoirs, offering a personal and insightful account of her life as queen. Farah also became a tireless champion for human rights, particularly women's rights. She used her platform to speak out against oppression and injustice. She lent her voice to the voiceless, advocating for freedom and democracy in Iran and around the world. Her experiences had given her a unique perspective, a deep understanding of the human cost of tyranny. Exile, while a painful experience, also offered Farah a chance to reflect on her life and her role in Iran's history. She emerged from the ordeal even stronger, a testament to her resilience and her unwavering commitment to her principles. She transformed herself from a queen in exile to a global advocate for human rights and a guardian of Iranian culture. Section 5. The Empress in Exile, Farah's enduring legacy. Farah's life after the revolution was marked by a deep commitment to preserving Iranian culture and history. She established the Shahbanu Farah Pahlavi Foundation, a non-profit organization dedicated to promoting Iranian art, literature and music. The foundation became a vital hub for Iranian artists and scholars living in exile, providing them with a platform to showcase their work and keep their cultural heritage alive. Beyond her foundation's work, Farah remained a prominent figure on the international stage. She was a sought-after speaker at conferences and universities, sharing her insights on Iranian history, culture and politics. She used these opportunities to challenge misconceptions about Iran and to advocate for a future where her homeland would once again embrace freedom and democracy. Farah's commitment to Iran extended beyond cultural preservation. She never forgot the plight of ordinary Iranians suffering under the repressive regime. She used her voice to speak out against human rights abuses and to call for greater freedoms. She became a symbol of hope for many Iranians, a reminder of a time when their country was on a different path. Even in exile, Farah remained a powerful symbol of Iran's rich cultural heritage and its enduring spirit. She used her platform to challenge stereotypes, to educate the world about her homeland, and to advocate for a better future for all Iranians. Section 6. A Bridge to the Future, Connecting with Young Iranians. Despite decades in exile, Farah remained deeply connected to the people of Iran. She understood the importance of reaching out to younger generations, those who had no memory of her time as queen, but who were the future of her homeland. She embraced social media, using platforms like Twitter and Instagram to engage with young Iranians. Farah's online presence resonated with many young Iranians, particularly women. They saw in her a symbol of strength and resilience, a woman who had endured immense hardship but who had never given up hope. They were drawn to her message of freedom, democracy, and the importance of preserving Iranian culture and identity. The Empress in Exile, once a distant figure from a bygone era, became a virtual mentor to a new generation of Iranians. She offered them words of encouragement and support. She listened to their concerns and shared their aspirations for a better future. She became a bridge between the past and the future, connecting with a generation eager for change. Farah's online engagement was not without its risks. The Iranian government viewed her with suspicion and hostility. Her online activities were closely monitored, and her posts often drew angry responses from regime supporters. Yet she refused to be silenced, believing that her message of hope and freedom was worth the risk. Section 7. Setting the record straight, combating historical distortions. One of Farah's most important missions was to correct the historical record about her husband's reign and the circumstances surrounding the revolution. She believed that the Pahlavi era had been unfairly demonized by the current regime and that it was crucial to present a more balanced and nuanced perspective on that period. Through her memoirs, interviews and public appearances, Farah challenged the official narrative of the revolution. She spoke about the achievements of her husband's reign, highlighting the progress made in areas like education, healthcare and women's rights. She acknowledged the shortcomings and mistakes of the Pahlavi era, but argued that they did not erase the positive contributions made during that time. Farah was particularly passionate about refuting accusations that her family had looted the country's wealth when they fled in 1979. She provided evidence to disprove these claims, emphasizing that they had left behind most of their possessions. She expressed her hope that one day these items, which were part of Iran's cultural heritage, would be returned to their rightful place. Farah's efforts to set the record straight were met with resistance from the Iranian government, which saw her as a threat to its legitimacy. However, her message resonated with many Iranians, both inside the country and in the diaspora, who were hungry for a more balanced and truthful account of their history. Section 8. Repatriation, a longing for home. The forced exile left a deep wound in Farah's heart. Despite building a fulfilling life in the United States, a part of her always yearned for Iran. This longing for home was intertwined with a desire to see certain personal belongings left behind during the revolution's chaos returned to their rightful place. These weren't simply material possessions, but pieces of her life, her memories, her connection to Iran. Among them were books, photographs, and paintings, items imbued with sentimental value, representing a part of her life that was abruptly severed. For Farah, their repatriation symbolized a kind of healing, a symbolic reconnection to the land and the life she had once known. Farah understood these items also held cultural significance for Iran. They were part of the nation's heritage, offering a glimpse into a tumultuous yet transformative period in its history. She believed they belonged in Iran, accessible to the people, not locked away in storage or scattered across the globe. While the political climate remained a barrier, Farah clung to the hope that one day, these treasures would return to Iran. This desire wasn't fueled by a sense of ownership, but by a profound love for her homeland and a belief in the power of cultural heritage to bridge divides and heal old wounds. Section 9. An unwavering spirit, Farah's enduring hope. Farah Pahlavi's story is one of resilience, courage, and unwavering love for her homeland. From the grandeur of the peacock throne to the quiet dignity of exile, she navigated life's triumphs and tragedies with grace and determination. She never allowed herself to be defined by her past, choosing instead to embrace the future with hope and optimism. Through her foundation, her advocacy, and her online presence, Farah built bridges between cultures, generations, and even across the chasm of political divides. She reminded the world that Iran's story is not a monolithic narrative, but a rich tapestry woven with threads of resilience, creativity, and an enduring love for freedom. Farah's story is a testament to the power of the human spirit to overcome adversity. It's a story of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the flame of love for one's homeland can continue to burn brightly, illuminating the path towards a brighter future. Hers is a legacy woven not just in the grand narratives of history, but in the hearts of those who dare to hope for a better tomorrow.